Hey everybody, today I am thrilled to bring you along for a tour of the opening of Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy, an exhibit here in downtown LA. It's December 15th, 2023. I'm here just before the opening time of 12 p.m., and I am the first customer to set foot inside the exhibit. I assume you know what this video is going to be about from the title, but just in case, I'm going to give you a brief introduction. Luna Luna was a theme park in Germany in 1987, where each ride was a masterpiece crafted by some of the greatest contemporary artists like David Hockney and Jean-Michel Basquiat. After it closed, it was supposed to move to San Diego, but there were some legal arguments and it was basically abandoned in shipping containers. After a bunch of things happened, which have been documented on lots of other websites and in lots of news stories, restoration began and this showcase was created. It's important to remember that this particular exhibit we are visiting is called Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy, as opposed to Luna Luna, and it contains approximately half of the original attractions from the park. There is ongoing conservation of the original attractions, and from the press materials, it appears that this is essentially a brand launch for a continuation of the concept, where actual rides will be created by contemporary artists. Some of the attractions have been heavily truncated, and as such, this particular exhibit is really to look at artifacts from the original theme park. But let's look around, and I'll show you what's here, and I'll talk a little bit about why it's interesting or important. It's a very unique situation, and they are very unique pieces, which unfortunately are being P.T. Barnum'd a little bit, because that's what the general public calls for at this time in history. Likewise, there are two pieces: David Hockney's Enchanted Tree and Salvador Dali's Dali Dome, which require an additional $40 purchase on top of an already $60 ticket for what are basically just selfie spots. Not to discount the artistic integrity of the work, but these are not the purposes for which they were originally designed, and therefore it would be hard to objectively look at them under these circumstances. I'm going to start outside with this inflatable, which you see as you're walking up to the entrance. Andre Heller was the artist who conceived the Luna Luna project, and this work, The Dream Station, is a poignant representation of Andre Heller's artistic vision. This piece, a continuation of his larger Heavenly Signs and Flying Sculptures project, is a testament to the ingenuity of merging the ethereal with the tangible in the realm of art. Andre Heller is an Austrian artist renowned for his explorative spirit. When he embarked on the Flying Sculptures project between 1986 and 1987, the ambitious undertaking featured three distinct aerial sculptures: Dreamlab, Moon, and Dragonfish. These pieces, soaring above cities across Europe, Japan, and North America, signified a daring foray into the spatial dynamics of art. The Dream Station presented here is a reproduction, necessitated by the original's inability to withstand 35 years of storage. As such, it stands as one of the few reproductions in this exhibit, embodying the spirit of the original while providing a tangible link to Heller's visionary concept. This installation serves as a terrestrial echo of the Dreamlab, bridging the celestial aspirations of the project with a physical space for audience interaction. In the realm of Luna Luna, the carousel designed by Arik Brouwer stands as a captivating and imaginative masterpiece. This small-scale merry-go-round diverges from convention, replacing traditional horses and carriages with a selection of whimsical and fantastical creatures. Each figure on this carousel, from a rooster with a human hand for a head to other anthropomorphized animals, embodies Brouwer's distinctive style that marries the real with the mythical. Atop the carousel is a striking hand with an eye in the palm, featuring a serene facial expression. This symbol, evocative of vision, creativity, or perhaps a guiding force, adds a layer of profound meaning to the carousel. The canopy is adorned with paintings that blend playful abstract designs with animal figures, enhancing the dreamlike and surreal quality of the piece. Arik Brouwer was a central figure in the Viennese school of fantastic realism, was renowned for his detailed, vibrant, and often fantastical imagery. His work expertly fuses elements of reality with mythological and dreamlike motifs, forging a unique and otherworldly aesthetic. This carousel is a quintessential example of Brouwer's artistic approach, where playfulness and a rich color palette are paramount. The design of the carousel is a testament to Brouwer's artistic philosophy, wherein ordinary objects and animals are reimagined in extraordinary contexts. This approach challenges viewers to reconceive the mundane, finding magic and wonder in everyday life. As a functional piece, it beckons onlookers to step into the role of co-creators, merging the realms of observer and participant. Brouwer's Carousel is not only a celebration of fantastical imagery, but also a commentary on the accessibility and role of art in society. It suggests that art should be an integral part of everyday spaces, accessible and enjoyable for all, rather than confined to the more traditional and often exclusive realms of galleries and museums, which is a common complaint amongst artists who are underrepresented in museum gift shops. At this point in his career, Brouwer was almost 60. He had done stints as an influential artist, a pop star, and a set designer. He had been pushing retrospectives of his earlier work while teaching, and it only made sense for him to experiment in this medium as a way to try to make something larger and more functional that would generate income and complement his past successes. Not long after this, he became an architect, with his first building in Vienna completed in 1993. This carousel by Arik Brouwer at Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy is a vivid encapsulation of the moment in his life where he was struggling to transition careers yet again, and at a time in his life where he probably felt he should have been more stable and admired than he was. Like many other artists in similar situations, he leaned into his playful nature to express those feelings masked under the guise of a ride for children's entertainment. This is Manfred Deck's Palace of the Winds. Palace of the Winds is one of the exhibits here at Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy that is incomplete and presents a portion of the exterior of the exhibit only. This work is an example of Austrian or German-style humor that Monty Python often mocked in their sketches. If you'd told me that one of the Pythons had conceived of this work, I'd have believed you. I'm just going to read you the catalog entry, as there's pretty much nothing you can do to improve upon it. Dex designed the facade for a concept formulated by Andre Heller and Walter Navratil. Absurd scenes play out on the exterior archway. A bent-over man's fart sends a woman's hair flying. The mouthpiece of a saxophone is inserted into a man's anus, and a woman's wind threatens to blow out candles on two men's heads. Palace of the Winds extends Dex's inquiry into mixing the banal with the grotesque in order to make visitors laugh with glee and discomfort. Inside, specialist performers farted into microphones accompanied by classical music before a live audience. The only thing that makes this worse is the timed lighting and music display that has been incorporated into the presentation of the lone facade. You probably want to know a little bit about the artist, so I've written this short bio. Manfred Dex was an Austrian cartoonist born 1949. He was married in Las Vegas in 1984. He lived near Vienna with his wife and approximately 23 cats. He appears to have died in 2016 from a pulmonary infection brought on by the use of e-cigarettes. Even Cleese could not have written that. "1987 was a landmark year for Keith Haring, a time when his artistry and influence in the global art scene reached new heights. This year was marked by a series of significant exhibitions and public art projects that showcased his unique approach to making art accessible and relatable to a broad audience. Haring's work was characterized by a conscious effort to transcend age, race, and identity barriers, as evidenced by his figure's lack of discernible ages, races, or identities. This universality in his art made it widely appealing and deeply impactful. Thanks to the unique nature of both the murals, being that they were printed, not painted, and this particular exhibit, this is one of the only situations I can think of anywhere in the world where you can get close enough to see the details of the mural without being outdoors or in an otherwise uncontrolled environment in which to see the work as it was originally created. It's additionally unique because there are so many of them on view. Keith Haring's Carousel for Luna Luna is a merry-go-round of color, motion, and life, vividly pulled from the pages of his imagination and sculpted into a playground of art. Seats in bubblegum pink, lime green, and tangerine orange pop against the backdrop, embodying Haring's trademark bold lines and vibrant characters. These three-dimensional figures are a testament to Haring's ability to translate his energetic drawings into tangible experiences. The Carousel is the centerpiece of a themed land, similar to Tomorrowland or Fantasyland at Disneyland, animated by Haring's vision, surrounded by large tarps that flutter like flags of a joyful rebellion, each adorned with his iconic figures. The kinetic energy of his art invites movement, drawing visitors into a dance with his creations. The self-portrait of Haring, paintbrush in hand, stands as a sentinel at the Carousel's heart, symbolizing the artist's active role in this dynamic world that he crafted. Kenny Sharf's work in the park was probably the most appropriate for the common understanding of theme park architecture and design. As a pop artist from California, his work is best suited to installations like these, with the potential for a strong understanding of how guests interact with theme parks. It's clear why he was included in the exhibit. For the park, Sharf created a captivating painted chair swing ride and a series of surrounding freestanding sculptures, many of which seem like an exaggerated and more colorful version of the sculptures outside Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room that greet guests during the pre-show. Sharf's chair swing ride was a tribute to the cosmic spirits of flight, adorned with playful geometric shapes and his signature cartoon figures. These figures, often curvaceous and wide-eyed, seem to zoom through the air, captivating the essence of whimsy and joy. The ride, spray-painted with bright and hyper-saturated colors, was a dynamic interplay of his interests in science fiction, comic books, animated cartoons, and pop culture. Sharf describes himself as a pop surrealist for the ways that his work disregards hierarchies between high and low art, which is a nice way of saying that he's been commercially successful but not entirely accepted into the traditional art world. Kenny Sharf's contribution to Luna Luna in 1987 was not just an attraction, but an artistic statement embodying his unique vision where pop culture, whimsy, and art coalesced to create a playful and engaging environment for visitors. His work continues to be celebrated for its ability to captivate and inspire, transcending the conventional boundaries of art and entertainment, which is a nice way of saying it's popular, but devoid of any real meaning. The inclusion of these pieces continues the overall conversation about what amusements would look like if they were designed by artists as opposed to carnival operators who are more concerned with themes and applications designed to maximize profitability over customer experience. The entrance archway for Luna Luna, adorned with the Luna Luna sign, is a celebratory gateway that encapsulates the spirit and aesthetics of Sonia Delani's art. Sonia Delani was a French artist who spent most of her working life in Paris. As a pivotal figure in the Parisian avant-garde, Delani was a master of color theory and geometric composition, elements that are vibrantly on display in this archway, which serves as a portal to a world where art and amusement intertwine. The archway is a manifestation of Delani's simultism, a movement she co-founded with her husband Robert, which emphasized the dynamism of color and the vibrancy of geometric shapes. The bold concentric circles, swirling forms, and interlocking patterns are trademarks of her practice and reflect her lifelong pursuit of color as a foundational element of her work. Delani believed that color could convey meaning and emotion without the need for representational forms, a philosophy that is vividly apparent in the archway's design. The Luna Luna sign, executed posthumously, based on discussions with Andre Heller and realized by his artisans, demonstrates how Delani's artistic vision could be translated into different mediums and scales. The sign's double-sided electric lights and custom-designed alphabet offer a modern twist to her artistic language, engaging directly with the public and inviting them into an immersive experience. The archway stands as a testament to Delani's innovative spirit and her ability to fuse art with life, a principle that aligns beautifully with the ethos of Luna Luna, where the fairground becomes a canvas for artistic expression. Through this entrance, Delani's work continues to greet and inspire visitors, a beacon of the avant-garde's enduring legacy and the transformative power of art in public spaces. The Luna Luna Pavilion, designed by Roy Lichtenstein, is a captivating fusion of art and architecture, a striking manifestation of the Perfect Imperfect painting series he developed in the mid-1980s. Lichtenstein, a titan of pop art, was celebrated for his utilization of commercial art techniques, and this pavilion is no exception, embodying his signature style of bold primary colors, stark black outlines, and the use of Ben-Day dots to create a dialogue between art and the mass-produced. The pavilion's exterior panels are a complex interplay of geometric shapes, intersecting lines, and contrasting colors that challenge the viewer's perceptions of space and form. This playfulness with geometry and color is a hallmark of Lichtenstein's abstract compositions, where he deliberately parodies the constraints of two-dimensional art. Lichtenstein's influence from commercial painting techniques is evidenced in the pavilion's design, as he replicates the visual language of comic strips, not just in content, but also in scale and form. The result is a monumental work that stands as a testament to his lifelong exploration of popular culture and its intersection with high art. The interior features an immersive glass labyrinth, where reflections and refractions expand the visual narrative created by Lichtenstein's panels. Accompanied by an unnamed track from Philip Glass's Dance Pieces album, which is mostly comprised of scores he'd written for ballet by Twyla Tharp, the pavilion is not open to the public, so we can only imagine what it would be like to walk through the maze during its original run. You can easily see the contrast between this, an amusement designed by a New Yorker who might have gone to Coney Island, in contrast to the Sharf piece, designed by a Californian who went to Disneyland. If I could pick any one attraction to actually go in on this exhibit, this would be the one. Rebecca Horn is a German visual artist who is best known for her installation art, film directing, and her body modifications, such as Einhorn, a bodysuit with a very large horn projecting vertically from the headpiece. She was born in 1944 in Michelstadt, Germany. This piece is sort of a parody of a traditional carnival attraction at the time, and the idea here is that you would hold the thermometer in your hand, and as the mercury rose, it would demonstrate how passionate you were. A traditional piece like this might include words like wild, jealous, burning, dynamite, bashful, uncontrollable, or something similar. In the 1980s, Horn was making a lot of work about machines, so adapting that work to a smaller scale became a natural thing to do. The translated moods are, from top to bottom, damage, madness, unbearable, truth, fear, hide, desire, wish, wandering, longing, tenderness, awakening, heart, body, magic, embrace, touch, skinned, night, image, awareness, and solitude. I really like the subtlety here, as solitude is clearly used as a replacement for the word dead. Jim Whiting, born in 1951 in France, is an artist renowned for his unique and intriguing mechanical installations. For Luna Luna, Whiting crafted an extraordinary mechanical theater that showcased his innovative approach to art and technology. This installation was a blend of robots and mannequins, primarily constructed from found objects and discarded junk, embodying the spirit of kinetic art and echoing the work of pioneering kinetic artist Jean Tangley. The animation comes from simply inflating and deflating the fire hose-like tubes, which are woven into the pieces in creative ways so as to not be noticeable. You may recognize his work from the video Rocket by Herbie Hancock. Whiting's mechanical theater at Luna Luna was an immersive and surreal experience. Within an enclosed stage, visitors encountered torso-less dancing trousers and human machine figures engaged in various activities. Some were positioned at a bar, while others were suspended above a simulated car crash. This nightmarish Luna Park-like installation was inspired by the social exchanges of everyday life, presenting them in a distorted, whimsical, yet thought-provoking manner. Whiting's mechanical sculptures are largely inspired by his personal experiences, including a medical condition that required him to wear a black and leather steel leg brace. This experience ignited recurring dreams about mechanical torture, which profoundly influenced his artistic vision. His animatronic characters, such as dancing trousers or mannequins in high heels, humorously and ironically recreate daily social situations, blurring the line between the animate and the inanimate. Unfortunately, all that is on display are some of the robot pieces. The theater and show have yet to be reconstructed. Joseph Baez was a German artist, teacher, performance artist, and art theorist whose work reflected concepts of humanism, sociology, and mostly involved talking about art more than actually making it. He was part of the Dadaist movement called Fluxus and is possibly the inventor of performance art, although when dealing with any kind of art, many people will claim to have been first. You wouldn't normally have to explain that in a situation like this, but Baez was notorious for making up facts about his past. When his work was introduced to American audiences, it was heavily criticized, most notably by art historian Benjamin Bucklock, who referred to Baez's work as simple-minded utopian drivel. In keeping with his propensity to talk about art more than actually make any, Baez's contribution to the theme park was an oversized letter. You might compare it to the dedication plaque at Disneyland, the one that begins with, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome." It's interesting that the exhibit has sort of whitewashed the text, only translating one sentence of the entire letter on their website, so let's read it together. I am no Marxist, but I probably love Marx more than many Marxists who only believe in him. I made it my duty to use the Marxist lever to develop insights, to enter the thinking laboratory on a daily basis, and what do I find? Money is not capital at all. Capacity is capital. Money as commodity, therefore, has no place in society's production process, but, solely from the right sphere, must or may work as a universal rights giver for work. More or less, Baez had ideas about art being more powerful as a mechanism for change than it has been in reality, and this mission statement that was posted in the park to fill in the void for any other lack of concrete ideas or unifying theme makes sense. Monika Gilsig, born in 1942 in Hamburg, Germany, is an artist with a rich and diverse background in art and graphic design. Her journey in the arts took her through various roles as a graphic artist, illustrator, caricaturist, and creative director. Gilsig's artistic inspiration was significantly enriched by her study trips to Africa and Asia, which influenced the development of her unique style that fluidly combines applied art with free expression. In her work, Gilsig captures moments spontaneously, creating worlds where observers can find reflections of themselves. She describes her work simply as, I am just a spot and line, emphasizing the elemental nature of her art. Her works are not mere realistic extracts, but rather figure abstract creations that invite the viewer to engage in a personal dialogue with the art. For Luna Luna in 1987, Gilsig's wind images brought an energetic and dynamic presence to the fairground. These vibrant, fabric-based flags, designed to ripple gracefully in the wind, were a testament to her ability to integrate art seamlessly with the natural environment. Each flag, a canvas for her abstract figures, exhibited a playful interplay between art and the elements, showcasing her multidisciplinary prowess. Gilsig's flags transformed the Luna Luna space, creating an ever-changing display that responded organically to the wind. This interaction emphasized movement and change, central themes in her work, and symbolized the fleeting moments of beauty in everyday experiences. Her collaboration with Andre Heller on Luna Luna and subsequent projects, such as Jagmandir and Anima Garden, contributed to the creation of immersive and whimsical environments. One of the things that theme parks do, which carnivals and fairs often do not, is to use flags as set dressing in an attempt to induce suspension of belief in an environment. They can do things like hide electrical wires or airplanes, which might interfere with the location. In using flags like these at Luna Luna, there was an extra measure of care to create an environment that worked as a whole. That is why the wind images are an important contribution to this exhibit. Jean-Michel Basquiat, born in 1960 in New York City, emerged from his roots as a street artist in the 1970s to become a celebrated figure in the gallery scene. His contribution to the 1987 Luna Luna Park was a painted Ferris wheel, a dynamic expression of his unique artistic language, featuring recurrent themes and iconic figures from his own oeuvre, set against the soundtrack of Miles Davis's 1986 jazz composition, Tutu. Basquiat's Ferris wheel was not just an amusement ride, but a canvas where each cabin and panel served as a fragment of his artistic vision. The artwork displayed his transition from graffiti to fine art, showcasing his expressive, complex compositions that tackle themes like Black identity, power structures, and historical narratives. The Ferris wheel, adorned with crown motifs and enigmatic words, became a revolving testament to Basquiat's impact on the art world. In his work, Basquiat bridged the gap between street art and the fine art gallery, blending abstraction, figuration, and historical information with contemporary critique. His social commentary was acutely political, directly criticizing colonialism and supporting class struggle. Basquiat explored artistic legacies, interrogating the classical tradition, and integrating a wide range of influences into his art. Before his rise as a painter, Basquiat produced punk-inspired postcards and was known for his poetical graffiti under the name Samo. He often drew on various subjects and surfaces, including clothing, highlighting the conjunction of different media in his art. His paintings were covered with codes of words, letters, numerals, pictograms, logos, and diagrams. Basquiat's painted Ferris wheel at Luna Luna is emblematic of his legacy as an artist who transcended traditional boundaries. It represented a dialogue that evolved beyond the canvas, engaging the public in an interactive, celebratory, and thought-provoking manner. This attraction, with its references to jazz and racial history, underscored his engagement with African American culture and social issues, while the accompanying Miles Davis song underscored a shared rhythm and improvisational spirit, highlighting the integral role of music in Basquiat's creative process. Unfortunately, this is late career Basquiat, so the fact that he was a multimillionaire who was heavily addicted to drugs and the work was being shown in West Germany as opposed to the United States probably did not help make the impression on the audience that he would have intended. In some ways, the photographs of the ride in use are almost more interesting than the ride itself. Its scale and his resilient brand name overshadow the work. We've already spoken about Andre Heller's work, so I'm just going to tell you about the Wedding Chapel exhibit. The Wedding Chapel features a stage adorned with oversized caricatures of a bride and groom, offering visitors the opportunity to symbolically marry anyone or anything of their choosing. This inclusive gesture notably welcomed same-sex couples, serving as a significant political statement during the 1980s. Additionally, Heller crafted life-size carnival cutouts of various celebrities, providing guests with a playful opportunity to take photographs. Daniel Spoeri, born in 1930 in Galati, Romania, is best known for his snare pictures, a type of assemblage or object art in which he captures a group of objects, such as the remains of meals eaten by individuals, including the plates, silverware, and glasses, all of which are fixed to the table or board, which is then displayed on a wall. A major theme of Spoeri's work is food, and he has called this aspect of his work Eat Art. In 1961, he sold in an art gallery in Copenhagen store-bought canned goods which he had signed and rubber-stamped, "Attention, Work of Art." In Krapp Chancellery at La Luna, Spoeri's use of a facade resembling Speer's Reich Chancellery, combined with the symbolic victory columns and sculpted excrement, created a powerful anti-fascist statement. In this installation, Spoeri transformed the public restrooms, styling them to mimic the architectural design of Albert Speer's Reich Chancellery, the administrative headquarters of the Nazi Party. This bold reinterpretation served as a form of mockery and devaluation of Speer's work. Emphasizing the statement, Sper adorned the entrance columns of the restroom with sculpted piles of steaming feces. This is the second exhibit where we are only shown the facade of the original attraction. The last exhibit at Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy has to deal with the history of popular culture as it led up to the original theme park, which accidentally includes this display of two of the most important artworks in my life, Parliament's Mothership Connection and Philip Glass and Robert Wilson's Einstein on the Beach. There's also a documentary screening about the park and a display of two of the shipping containers, along with archival pieces and blueprints related to the restoration. As I stated at the beginning of the video, it's clear from articles and interviews surrounding this opening that the entire display is really just a brand launch to educate the public about the history of the park, to build awareness for the brand, and then to extend it further with additional restoration and new rides as an IP. When you consider the kind of private funding that was involved with this type of restoration, it's clear that this particular exhibit is almost a loss leader to get consumers invested in a more long-term strategy. That said, it's an extremely unique experience that has a considerable amount of artistic merit, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to see it here under these circumstances. I'd also like to thank Luna Luna Forgotten Fantasy for the gift bag that they gave me accidentally for being the first customer, and I was interviewed for their podcast, so you can learn more about the opening day and the exhibit from listening to that whenever they launch it. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more of my artwork and my art commentary. Thanks.